Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is episode 54. I want to take time, say a big hello, and thank you. Today is December 19th when I am recording this, and it's originally uploaded. And if you're taking time to watch this before the holidays, thank you so much, because I know it's crazy busy right now for just about everyone. A huge hello to new viewers, and a big thank you for coming back week after week for returning viewers. I wanted to start off with thank yous first. I was gifted 2 patterns yesterday, and one was Percy the fish, and that was gifted to me by Susan, who is Rista1313. Let me pull this up real quick. See if I can. I don't want to download it. It's thinking. Alright. Sorry. I should add this planned a little better. But I want to show this to you because it's like super cute. I've never made like a little coin purse with the little snappy thingy at the top. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I so can't wait to make one. I got to figure out where to get one of the little, it's like a change purse, where to get one of the little enclosures, little snappy things. I'm assuming you could probably get them at Joann's or something, but they're also got to be somewhere online, I would think. And then I was gifted Bunty Mitts by Lady Fernico. And hold on here, I feel bad I didn't check her first name. And as I have stated before, I am terrible with names. Look at those, aren't those cute? Color work. That'll be a big challenge for me. I like challenges. I really, really do. Let me get her name really quick. I feel like I am going slow. Marlicia? Is that right? I hope so. Sorry if I butchered it. Anyway, so thank you so much for the fingerless mitts. I absolutely love them and cannot wait to knit them. And then I was also sent by Helen, who is Luby, L-O-U-B-Y-01. I believe that's correct. And she's from Scotland, which was like really super exciting to go to the PO. And how my post office works, the little one I go to, you know, you have your little box, and if you have something that doesn't fit in your P.O. box, you get a slip. So it was exciting to see I had a slip in my box. So I had to go to the counter and get it. And Helen sent a super cute Christmas card. It says, "Greetings from Johnstone," which is the town, I believe, where she lives in Scotland, if I understand that correct. I don't know, overseas things always confuse me because they have what I would kind of consider a weird way of postal system of things, but you know, it's normal for them. So it says, "From Helen, Andrew, and family," and it says, "To Jenna, hubby, and kids." So that was really exciting. My kids had a lot of fun. They always love it when things come over from overseas, and to see the postage, like, it's always fun getting something from Europe, especially like England area, because it has the Queen on the Royal Mail stamp, and that's always fun. And so in it, now, the package was open, like it was a bubble envelope, and the whole one end was split open. And I have to thank her on Ravelry when I'm done recording this, because I just got it. So I wanted to record, and so before this is even posted online, I will have thanked her. But it came open. The envelope was open, so hopefully everything was in there that was supposed to be. So I don't know what happened. It looked like it was almost cut open. But the lady at the post office said it came into my post office like that. Okay, and then there was a Galaxy candy. It was half truffle and half milk chocolate. And this was delicious. So I ate it already, but I saved the wrapper. And, because, okay, I went up and I needed a box. I needed a flat rate shipping box because I needed to ship some stuff out. And so I had to wait in line because I went the Monday, you know, of this week, which was insane. So I had to wait in line, get a box and get my package, and then I had to box everything up and then get back in line at the end. So while I was waiting in line, I totally ate this, and it was so good. And then she also has sent plus-size crochet fashions that fit and flatter, and she had contacted me about sending this as a prize. So that's super exciting. And I will talk about knit-alongs and prizes here in a minute. And then she sent this. It's the Knitting Goddess Luxury Hand-Dyed Yarns and Other Treats for Knitters. It is 50% superwash merino, 50% tinsel, approximately 100 grams. And it doesn't say, oh, yeah, 100 grams. And it says 333 M. So I'm assuming it's 333 meters. Is that right? And I don't know what that is in yards. Anyways, but it's hand-dyed in the colorway called Snail Corner. Now, this was beautifully wrapped up in tissue paper with a bow, and I knew she was sending the book as a gift, so for one of you. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a gift or if it's supposed to be for me, and I don't want to assume it's for me. So I will contact her and find out what she would like me to do with this yarn. So this very well could be a gift for you, maybe. But it's beautiful. It's this gorgeous, like, ivoryish white and little pops of, like, red and orange and a pretty blue and a mint green. And it is just lovely, and it is super soft. So, absolutely just lovely. So, a huge thank you, Helen, so much for sending stuff all the way over to the States. And hopefully that's everything that was in the package, fingers crossed. So, let's see. So, knit-alongs are knit-alongs. Last I checked, we were almost at 250 gifts that had been entered into the season of giving knit-along. That is so awesome to see so many things made that are going to be gifted to others, because that's what this season's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the giving and not the receiving, although it is fun to receive, let's be honest, right? But no, it's just nice to see all the generosity and people being able to get credit for that and do it in a fun way. And then also the Christmas Favorites Ornaments Knit-Along is going strong as well. Like I said, I will close the threads for those on New Year's Eve, probably shortly after the ball drops. I will close those out before I go to bed. And then I'm thinking, okay, New Year. What are some fun things for knit-alongs? Because I'm trying to, like, you know, think. And I think we're going to do a toy knit-along in January. So I am going to post a thread where you can vote which pattern of mine you would like to, ooh, excuse me, hiccup there, would like to knit. And that way I'm always there either way, knit-along or not, if you have any questions or comments or anything about the patterns. But I love to be able to interact and see projects come in, and it's really fun. So I thought, well, we'll do a vote. And then I'm thinking, you know, the Knit Girls kind of have like their expand your horizons for fiber, and I'm trying to think, like, you know, like a build your technique kind of knit along. So I was thinking maybe, and these would be 2-month knit alongs, so there would be 6 throughout the year. Like we could do a color work knit along, and it can be anything you want to do as long as there's maybe some color work, or crochet, because I know a lot of people out there don't crochet or only do it a little, and maybe try to build your techniques. So I'm curious. I would love to know what you think of that, because I don't want to do knit alongs that everyone's like, yeah, I don't think so. So I'm just curious, because I know kind of one of my goals for this year is to try to expand my comfort zone and learn some new techniques and oh, even do some color work, because I love the work of color work. I just don't like knitting the color work so much, but I'm like, maybe if I get better at it, I might like it more. So, really quick, I'm going to do 3 Q&A. Oh, my notebook fell. It's alright for the moment. I'm going to do 3 Q&A questions. Really quick, as we try to work through these. Okay, the first question, what is the worst yarn you've knit with? You don't have to say the name, but maybe the kind of yarn it was. The worst. I am not a fan of novelty yarns, and I had knit with this one Fun Fur that was like really super hairy, and it wanted to stick to me, and it just gave me the willies, because, you know, I'm super sensitive to all that. I got, like, sensory issues or something. And, but I'm like, oh, it looked fun. I mean, it's called Fun Fur, right? And to me, I mean, it was just hairy. It would stick to my hands, and then when I was knitting, it was hard to see where the needles went, because it was so furry. And when I see something with Fun Fur on it now, I immediately just go, ugh, yuck. And then, of course, I mean, there are always going to be like those super scratchy acrylics and, you know, stuff like that aren't a pleasure to work with, but have their place. Because let me tell you, Red Heart makes one heck of an Afghan. I have an Afghan that my grandma made me 20-some years ago, probably like 24, 25 years ago, that still looks the day it did when she gave it to me, and it's surprisingly super soft after it was washed. Someday, when I can find it, it's somewhere here. It could still be in a box, because we have a few boxes out in the garage that we just have not got around to unpacking out of the 4.5 years we've lived here, and someday I will show that on the show when I can find it. I love your toys. Do you give them to family? My kids get claim to a lot of them. Some of them I send out as gifts over time. Sometimes I know when I knit something who I want the recipient to be. And sometimes, you know, I just kind of hold on to them until the time is right. And sometimes they just kind of live here. They're all over the place. They're all lined up along the wall here. There's some piled over. I mean, they're everywhere. I try my hardest to keep at least one of each of my samples. So, because they're like my babies. But I try. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like having a gift cupboard or something, because sometimes, you know, you just know someone's having a poopy day, or, you know, sometimes you just want to let someone know you're thinking of them, and you can be like, yeah, I'm going to send them one of my samples. Because to me, all my samples are really special. You know, other people might not see them that way, but I do. And, oh, this is a good one. It says, you've explained how you come up with your design inspirations, but I was wondering how long it generally takes you with an average toy design, start to finish, how much time spent ripping back and redoing parts, and once you have a design concept in mind, do you usually end up finished with a finished design, or do you scrap ideas or put them on the back burner if they aren't turning out as you originally envisioned? That is an excellent question. It really honestly varies from toy to toy. Normally, if I am really inspired and I really have an idea, I can sit down, and I have this little notebook that I had gotten in a swap, and I love it. It's my all-time favorite notebook, and I need to find where I can get more of them, because that notebook, I swear, is like magic inspiration. So I have like my own kind of abbreviation system, and trying to get it written out, and I write in that first before I type anything up. And I can sit there, and usually within a week, start to finish, Once in a while I have to rip back, but rarely do I do that. If I get a completed arm or a leg or a body or something, I'm more likely to rip out the body than the limbs. The limbs I'm usually more willing just to scrap. I also try to make my first samples out of cheap yarn. And I'm not talking like acrylic necessarily, but I love Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. And it used to be $1.99 a skein, and I don't remember how much it is now. But I don't feel guilty necessarily when I throw out bits and pieces that are that. And sometimes if I like the shape of an arm or a leg, but it just doesn't seem to fit that pattern, I kind of will write down how I made it on a little piece of paper with the limb and tuck it away, in case if I decide, hey, down the road, oh, I have this body for whatever, I made that leg or arm one time and it would really go good with this. The squid that I did, it took me months to design because I wasn't ever fully satisfied. I couldn't get all of the arms and tentacles and the body and everything to come together because I have a tendency of when I design, I overcomplicate it at first. I go and I think my brain just naturally is like, let's make this as complicated as possible. And then I go back and I simplify a pattern. So sometimes I'll do it wrong kind of the first time, and then I've learned from what I did. So like I said, normally if I'm fully inspired and I have a perfect envision of what I want to do, normally it'll take me a week to kind of work out all the bugs. But if it's a design that I know what I want to make, but I'm not sure how to execute it, it can take any amount of time. And then there's like Chelsea the Chatterbox Monster, I made in a night. That came together kind of all on its own, and it knew what it wanted to be. And came together fast. So, like I said, a week, maybe, 2 if I have a few little bugs with arms and legs. But I have a tendency of where I'll get like 2 or 3 really good patterns that I'm really happy with, and then it's like I hit designer's block. And then I'm like racking my brain, like I just can't get things to come together right, and I kind of got to try to walk away from it a little, and try to cleanse my palette with something else. I found like the best thing when I'm stuck on a toy is to walk away and go do some intricate lace or a sock or even something just to get my mind off of it. So that's kind of how it works for me. Okay, find my place here. That will move us into finished objects. I have finished objects and they are all gifts. So the first one is Orbit, the outgoing alien. He is for one of my sons for Christmas, and my son loves blue, yellow, and orange. And this is another Crafty Girl in the Coraline colorway, and this will go under the tree. Because pretty much anything that is from us that goes under the tree before Santa comes is homemade. And then Santa brings a few store-bought type items, like professionally made toys. So that's how it works here. So this will go under the tree. And I think he's going to love it because I love it. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's so soft and squishy. I'm like, I could just play with him and hug him all day. So that's a good sign to me. Orbit. And then I have a Sam the unsuper frog. I did not put a cape on this. Did not make a cape. I could have made one and like just the cape section and sewed it to the back of the neck. But it's going to a baby. And it's a girl because it's pink, obviously. And I just thought for a girl, it didn't need a cape. If it would have been a little boy, I probably would have put the cape on it. I thought Sam would be perfect because how it works in my family is the cousins exchange names. Now, we're talking 20-some cousins. So, one of my sons got the baby. And I had texted my aunt. And it's so funny because my aunt and I, she's only a few years older than me. So I have a cousin who's like 30 years younger than me. And I was like, well, what would you like for the baby? What should I buy? I'm like, it's her third baby. It's not like the baby probably needs much. And she's like, oh, well, handmade toys or sweaters or, and she listed, I don't know, a couple other things. She's like, you know, we love Jenna gifts. I'm like, okay, great. So I thought Sam, I guess this one might be a Samantha, would be perfect because babies like things with dangly parts. Thought it would be great for little hands to grab, and babies love big eyes, and I know someone out there is thinking, oh my gosh, you put safety eyes on that thing. My stitches are nice and tight, and I actually had to wiggle and wedge the posts of these safety eyes through the stitches that they're in, and the washers are bigger, slightly bigger than the actual size of the eye. I pulled and tugged. There is no way these things are coming out. They are snapped on super tight all the way. I would give this to my own child if one of them was a baby. So I feel absolutely confident that this is a 100% safe toy. If it would have, and that was another reason I picked Sam, was because it has the big safety eyes. Something with a smaller safety eye, even like the pig, I think my piggies are over there. The pigs have smaller safety eyes, and I would have been more concerned about those. But considering these are 18mm safety eyes and that the plastic washers that snap onto the back are slightly bigger than these, I am 100% confident that these are not coming off. And I made sure I stitched all the legs, the eye bumps, the arms, everything on super good. And I have tug tested it and squish tested it and I pulled, tested it, and everything, and I feel 100% confident that this is probably safer than any stuffed animal you could buy off a store shelf that had plastic eyes. So, I feel good about it. I'm not concerned at all. Next up, my daughter, how they kind of have done it over the years. I don't participate in the cousin swap because I'm so much older than the rest of them. I think the youngest behind me that does it is 23. So they're 23 to 5 months. So the older kids, the boys have a swap and the older girls have a swap, and then all the little kids have a swap. So my daughter is in the older girls section, and their swap, the little kids, is a $5 swap. Because they figure, well, it's easy enough to find something for little kids for $5, but the big kids swap is $20. So I had called my aunt and asked her, like, what do I get her kid for the swap? Because it's $20, her kid's 14, mine's 13, and they're night and day. They're just are very different children. So she said that my cousin had gotten a Kindle for her birthday, and all she wanted for Christmas was Amazon gift cards. I'm like, crap, I always make handmade gifts, because it's what I do. I like to do it. So I went on, and I went to Amazon website, because she's like, oh, well, you can get them at a Giant Eagle. And I'm like, I don't have a Giant Eagle close enough to make it worth driving. So you can get on Amazon. And I have to tell you all about this, because I was super excited, because I've never bought an Amazon gift card. At Christmas time, the smallest number, you can get $10 gift cards of just their regular, like, birthday gift cards and stuff. But Christmas gift cards, you can, the smallest amount you can get is 15. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I went on Amazon, I got a $15 gift card, and it came in a Christmas card. There were, and there's Hanukkah cards and all that. So I thought this one was cute. It's a real cute Christmas card, and then inside is the gift card. $15. And it says Amazon on the back, so you know where to go. And it came with the envelope. They overnighted this for free. If you go get an Amazon gift card, free overnight shipping. How freaking fabulous is that? So, $15 gift card, and then I made her some fetching fingerless mitts. Because I figured, well, I'm using half a ball, a Cascade 220 Superwash, which would roughly be about $5. In the Plum Crazy colorway, because her favorite color is purple. And I thought, my whole thought behind this is, you know, she's 14. What kid doesn't text and everything and doesn't want fingers? These fit so good, too. They're nice and snug, but not too tight. She could hold her Kindle and flip pages and everything and kind of keep her hands warm, like in the car or whatever. I don't think she rides the school bus. So I thought that was a great gift. My daughter agreed. And so she was all like, why don't I get fingerless gloves? I want fingerless gloves. Blah, 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 blah. You know. So I'm working on another pair of fetching fingerless gloves. Now this fetching pattern is a free pattern on nitty.com. Now if you go through Ravelry and you find fetching, it's going to say on the project page that it's $10. It's not $10. It's free on the Nitty website, and you can find a link through Ravelry. So, I have the, what is this? This is the left hand done. You can see where the scrap yarn is, so I can put in the thumb. Dropped it. And then I have the start of the second one. I'm like, so my daughter went out. We have a bunny rabbit, which I don't think I've ever mentioned the bunny rabbit, because the bunny rabbit lives outside in a very nice hutch that my husband built, because he's quite handy. So my daughter went out last night to feed her bunny rabbit before dinner, and the bunny rabbit was dead. This did not go over well, because you see, that was her rabbit. Nobody took care of it but her, because it was hers. It was her responsibility. Like, I have no real attachment to the bunny rabbit, because it's not like the cat that is my baby and it sleeps with me every night and all that. But, you know, I mean, obviously, I still love the rabbit. He was as cute could be. And we don't know what happened. We saw him Monday, and he was fine. He was hopping around. He hadn't been acting sick. He'd been perfectly fine. He's only 2.5. Rabbits, I guess, are supposed to live approximately 10 years. And I just feel horrible because we don't know what happened. We cannot figure out what happened. So I'm like, I so wish in a way I had these done so I can just like be like, I'm so sorry, here, I made you these. So my heart breaks for her right now, and so I'm glad I'm able to get these. I will have these done for Christmas, and she'll be really surprised, and I just feel so sad for her. Because it's never fun to lose a pet. You know, especially one that was just completely her responsibility. And she did a good job taking care of it. So, I was like so worried because I sent her to school today. And if it weren't for the fact she had some exams today, I totally would have let her stay home. But we're almost done with school for the, you know, till Christmas break, and she couldn't afford to miss that exam. I mean, there's only a couple days left in the week that she would have time to make it up, and she and I talked, and we had a heart-to-heart, and we agreed that she needed to go and just take it and get it over with and try to concentrate on school, and that there would be plenty of time to grieve and be sad when she got home. So we had a little pep talk, and I'm like, I hope no one thinks I'm like totally heartless because I sent my kid to school. It was just heartbreaking. It's never easy to, you know, watch your kid just be utterly heartbroken, and we're not getting another rabbit anytime soon. I'm just like, we still have the dogs and the cat, and that's plenty, but, oh, I just feel so sad for her. And so we're close by Christmas, and then everything that happened in Connecticut really struck her hard. So all of our thoughts are with everyone there in that heartbreaking tragedy. But I think, you know, she's at the age where, you know, she's 13. It's junior high, and you're not a little kid anymore, but you're not a grown-up, and not even quite an, you know, just barely in there as a teenager, and I just, you know, so she's been very emotional towards that, even though we totally did not tell our kids most of the weekend. Friday, when we got them from school, we went out to eat, we went and did some Christmas shopping, we went to our favorite chocolatier place and spent way too much on candy and let our kids get loaded up on sugar, which is a rarity here, and just spent time with them. So now that I've totally just been blathering on, I'm sorry. It's just been an emotional week. And I totally forgot a skein of yarn. Oh well. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll remember to show it next week. It was my Dancing Dog Dye Works Club yarn, which if you watch the Stockinette Zombies, they showed it this week. I had placed a Jimmy Bean's wool order, and I only got half of it. Half of it was in stock. So I got some Cascade 220 Superwash in the Puget Sound colorway, which is color number 883. I've bought this before, and I'm almost out, and it seems to be a popular color in our house. Go figure. We have boys. And it's just a really nice shade of blue. I'm not hugely into blue, but this works. I'm neutral towards it. And then I got Lorna's Laces. It's Shepherd Sock, which is 20% superwash merino, 20% nylon. You get 430 yards, and it is called Pumpkin Pie. It is, I only saw it in the Shepherd Sock because I would order a skein in the Shepherd Wurst if they would have had it. And it's just for the holidays. So it is a limited edition. They still had some when I ordered it. And it's this beautiful caramel color. And then it goes into an orange. And this really mocha-y, almost with a slight orangish red tint in it. And brown. So it very much says pumpkin pie. And is very autumnal. I don't know that I'll knit with this anytime soon. But this is so me that I had to jump on it when they had it. Because there was another one they had last year that was like caramel pumpkin mocha or something like that. And I totally wish I would have bought some. But I was still new to yarn buying, kinda still. I was really starting to expand out into stuff other than what I could get from Joann's, and I was like, ooh, it's really expensive, and I hemmed and I hawed about it, and then it was gone. So then, what didn't come that I am still waiting on, I am waiting on my Lorna's Laces Sport Mate sock yarn. It is the Christmas at Downton colorway, because I am going to participate in the Downton Abbey Knit Along. And then I ordered some natural colored Malabrigo sock for my Morio shawl that I am planning to knit after the new year. And then last but not least, this is for me. It's going under the tree. I caught the Into the World update this past weekend, and it got here super fast, as it usually does. Because Chris from Into the World is amazing and super sweet, and I'm so excited. I got bigger on the inside in sock yarn. So I tried to snag this during the last update, and it was gone. So I wasn't going to go and catch this update, and I happened to get on Plurk, and Chris from Into the World posted, you know, update is up, you know, and I'm like, let's just go see. Because this was not in the preview, like, block thing she makes in the group on Ravelry. And so I'm like, well, I'll just double check. And I'm scrolling, and like down towards the bottom is this. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be gone. Because I couldn't catch it last time. But it wasn't gone, and it was there. And it is, let's see, what is it called? Pakokku? Pakokku is the base. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's soft. It's not like quite as soft as the Lorna's, but it's close. And bigger on the inside is a Doctor Who reference. It was from one of the club colorways. I actually got on D-Stash on Fiber, but it is this gorgeous, like, really soft orange, and gets into like a pumpkin kind of orange, and then it starts to fade into like a tealish aqua, and it is gorgeous, and I love it. I don't know what it'll be, but like I said, that will go under the Christmas tree for me. And I got no spinning done. I will not have any spinning done until after the holidays, as I'm trying to get my Christmas knitting done, because, oh my gosh, I totally skipped over works in progress. I showed you the fingerless mitts. I am so sorry. My brain is just in overload. So, okay, back up, rewind. Really quick. The other works in progress I have to show you, because I know some people want to hear about my advent calendar scarf. Woo! I have been able to keep up. Today is the 19th, and I am done with through day 19. So that means I only have 5 more days to go, and it is done. So, let's see. Where was I the last time you seen it? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have come this far. Really long. It's ridiculously long. See? But it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I think it's going to be beautiful. It is the Advent Calendar Scarf 2012 by Kristen Bennikin. It is a free pattern. I am knitting it with Highland Handmade's, cherry pin cherry lace in the back 40 colorway. It is 80% fine merino, 20% silk in the colorway the back 40 that Heather so graciously custom dyed for me. I am using beads in the spacer sections that are crystal clear AB beads from fusionbeads.com. Love them. So each day is different, and I feel like my lace skills have greatly improved. So it's getting there. I'm excited. I think I'm actually going to get to finish it. And the only other Christmas knitting I have to do besides the fetching, I have to make a Molly the Traveling Turtle for my other son, because the one's getting the Orbit. The other is getting a Molly the Traveling Turtle, because that's what he requested. And that shouldn't take me long at all. I can crank out a turtle pretty fast. I've made like 7 or 8 of them. So besides that, I need to finish my grandma's socks. I haven't, okay, normally I don't show you something if I haven't knit on it in the last week, but you're not going to get to see these when they're finished, because I'm going to finish them and then give them away. So just to remind you what they look like. Ah, my double points are stuck in the ball yarn. Here we go. They are just basic vanilla socks. It's my own pattern. I do line up the stripes. My grandma loves blue. So this yarn is a couple different shades of blue, a really, really super soft pink, and a green. I have the leg, the cuff and the leg of one done, so it's ready for the heel flap. And then this one is almost there. Just like 4 more stripes. So I can get these done. I'm pretty confident these will be done as well. And besides these, I need to make 4 ornaments. So I did get all my snowmen that I was planning on to last week done. They've been sent out in the mail and have been received by all their recipients. So then these ones are for people that I actually know that I need for Christmas. So socks, 4 ornaments, a turtle, and the mitts. And that is all the Christmas knitting that I have left to do. I have 6 days to get it all done. Well, less than 6 days for some of them. So, sorry about the jumbledness. I got like thinking about dead bunnies and all that and got horribly distracted. So, that is it for me this week. I did want to share with you, my husband and I were talking, and he brought up Mr. Rogers. You know, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And he read this book while we were on our little anniversary trip. There was this little book that was in our room, and I don't know when he read it. He like read it when I was in the shower or something. And he was talking about how he wished that Mr. Rogers was still alive so he could help counsel the children in Connecticut, because he did that with 9/11. And he was telling me about this book that he read, and how he wished, you know, he's like, oh, I should buy it sometime. So I ordered him one on Amazon. It shouldn't be here until Saturday. So I think it's called like The Wonderful Journey or something like that with Mr. Rogers. But there were 2 other books. So the one I ordered is like these, but it's red. If you want to get on Amazon and look at what I'm talking about. So it seemed like there were 3. It wasn't like an official set, but maybe like a series. So these ones came in the mail today. So it's Life's Journeys According to Mr. Rogers, Things to Remember Along the Way. And then there's Many Ways to Say I Love You, Wisdom for Parents and Children from Mr. Rogers. And so I'm going to put all of these together. I'm probably going to tie like a bow around them. But I was flipping through them. And I just wanted to leave you with one of the things that I had read that really just struck me as something to remember. So it's just like these little sayings and paragraphs and just little words of wisdom. So it says, the toughest thing is to love somebody who has done something mean to you, especially when that somebody is yourself. Look inside yourself and find that loving part of you. Take good care of that part because it helps you love your neighbor. So, like I said, just flipping through and reading different pages, that just struck me. So, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. If you are traveling during the holidays, please be safe. Enjoy yourself, enjoy family and friends and good food and just all the things that the season brings. And from my house to yours, I just wish you all the best this next week and weekend. I am planning at this point to record next Wednesday, which will be the day after Christmas. Because I don't see a reason not to, because I will be home in my jammies. And hopefully you'll be in your jammies too. I wore my Doctor Who shirt one last time, my Doctor Whoville. Tried to get it in before Christmas. And I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest. And I think that's it. So until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.